Hi, I'm Furgason from San Francisco. I'm working with Melissa, who's an advanced level client. However, I'm going to show some modifications to make the work slightly less difficult. Let's get started with the hundreds. So if you come to laying on your back, you're going to deepen your abdominals in, slightly rounding through your lower spine, feeling the abdominals flattening from hip bone to hip bone. Then you're going to lift one leg up to tabletop, lift the other leg up to meet it. From here, I'm going to ask her to flex her abdominals, bringing her ribs towards her hips, and her arms are going to float up off of the floor. This is the more essential version of this exercise. From here, she's going to start pumping her arms, inhaling through her nose and exhaling out through pursed lips. Keep going. You should feel a deep connection underneath the armpits so your lats are working. On the next exhale, she's going to extend her legs out. On the inhale, I'm going to have her bend her legs back in. This is making it a little bit more challenging for her. One more time like that. I know that she's a little bit more advanced than this, so I'm going to ask her to keep her legs reaching out this whole time. As she continues to reach her legs out and pump her arms, she can take her legs as low as she can stabilize her abdominals. So the second you see the abdominals popping, we've gone too far, and you want to keep those legs from going any lower. Good, we'll do one more set. Inhaling through the nose, exhaling out through pursed lips, then stay here, stop pumping the arms, bend the legs into tabletop, and use your abdominals to lower all the way back down to the floor. Set one leg down and then the other. Excellent. From here, we're going to go right into roll-up. So she's going to extend her legs out to straight. She's active through her legs. They're not just passive there. You're going to reach your arms out overhead only as far as you can keep the abdominals connected. So if her arms go too low and her back extends, then we want to just pick the arms up and find a place where she can be pretty neutral through the spine. From here, she's going to inhale to bring her arms up. Exhale, nod her chin, flex her ribs to her hips, and start to peel up one vertebrae at a time. She gets all the way forward and up. Then she's going to feel the pelvis kind of spinning underneath her as she rolls back down, sequencing one vertebrae at a time through the spine back to her start position. Good job. Again, inhaling, exhale, peel up, lower the arms and reach them forward, out over those legs. Then deepen the abdominals. She's sending the waist of her pants back towards the mat. Then her lower back's going to touch. Then her bottom ribs are going to touch. Then she's going to reach her arms out overhead. We'll do this twice more. Inhaling, exhale, peel up. Feel the front of the hips opening, so you don't want to close that joint off. You're going to start to roll back even more, lengthening through the front of the hips, feeling like the hip flexors get a chance to open here. And one last time, inhaling, exhale, peeling up through the spine. Head is coming towards the feet, out and over the legs. Nice long hamstring stretch. Now the hamstrings are going to kick in to assist in rolling that pelvis under, and abs come all the way back down to your start position. Nice work. Bring your arms down along your sides. We're going to go into rollover next. However, I want to do a little bit of a prep to teach the abdominal connection so you're sure you're not cheating by just kicking your legs over. You're really doing it from a deep ab connection. So from here, she's going to imprint, slightly flattening her lower back. She's going to lift one leg up to tabletop and then the other. From there, I'd like her to cross one ankle over the opposite ankle. Let her knees separate a little and her feet can come up a little bit towards the ceiling. Okay, that looks great. So from here, she's going to use her abdominals to deepen the abs in and lift the base of the pelvis a little bit off of the floor, and then control it on the way back down. So she's not just pushing with her arms and straining in the neck and shoulders. She's really using the abs to lift the front of the hips towards the bottom ribs. So you're shortening that distance. This is the connection that it's going to take to be able to do the full rollover. After you've done a couple with one crossing, then you'll switch like she just did for us. Excellent. Let's just do two more like that. Deepen the abdominals. Feel those abs work. It's okay if you can't get your pelvis this far off the floor, but as long as you feel your abs connecting, you're in the right place. Good job. So stay there. Take your legs, uncross the ankles, bring the inner thighs all the way together, and reach your legs out on a diagonal only as low as you can keep the ab connection going. So from here, this is her start position for rollover. She's going to inhale, then exhale. Use that abdominal connection to take the legs overhead, lowering them only as far to the floor as she can keep the weight off of her neck and head. Then she lifts them up to horizontal, separates them. She's going to slowly roll down one vertebrae at a time through her spine, keeping the legs apart. At the end, she'll bring them back together in that start position. Good job. Two more in this direction. Up and over. Legs go down slightly, lift back up to horizontal. They separate. She's reaching her feet in opposition to her abdominal connection so you can control that lowering down. We don't want a thud or a dropping of your back down. We want it nice and sequentially, one vertebrae at a time in both directions. Excellent job. Reaching out through the legs and peeling back down through the spine. Once she gets her legs out on the diagonal, she's going to keep them apart this time, reversing it. Legs are apart as she goes over. Use that ab connection to lift the pelvis. Legs lower, they come back up to horizontal. They come together. She squeezes those inner thighs together to roll back down. Excellent. This direction's a little bit harder because we've separated the legs. You have less inner thigh connection to help assist in that abdominal connection. And rolling back down. Excellent. Let's do 2 more. Separate. Inhale, exhale, peel. Lift the pelvis with control. And legs come together and she rolls back down. That oppositional reach of legs away from the ab connection. And last time, inhale, exhale, up and over. Bring the legs down, bring them up, and peeling through the spine. One vertebrae at a time comes back down to the mat, and she reaches them out on the diagonal. Good job. Bend your legs in. Set one foot down and then the other. Extend your legs out on the mat. Now, Melissa's going to bend her knee in and extend her leg up towards the ceiling. We're going to go into one leg circle. She's really flexible. If you don't have this kind of flexibility to be in neutral pelvis and be pretty stable and comfortable in your start position with your foot directly over the hip, I'd like you to bend your knee slightly so that your knee is still over your hip. We don't want to be doing circles down here because it won't get the proper work through the hip. So I'd rather see you bend it and have the knee over the hip. All right, since Melissa can extend both legs and stay in a nice position through her spine with her abs connected, she's going to demonstrate it here. You're going to inhale to bring your leg across the midline, exhale around, and pause at the top. Nice work. She's pausing each time at the top just to make sure she gets back. Nice. We're going for a nice fluid circle. The range of motion can be as big as she can stabilize her torso and her spine. Last one, then she's going to reverse. 5 in the other direction. Inhale, exhale around. She's trying not to let anything side bend or her pelvis rotate. So the abdominals are working like crazy to keep the pelvis stable and neutral. Good job. Last time, and pause. Bend your knee in, extend that leg out along the mat. Drag the other foot in and reach it up towards the ceiling. Inhale across the midline, exhale around. Good. You're trying to make sure that you're not overworking in the arms or the neck and shoulders. We don't want any unnecessary tension in the upper body. We want to make sure the stability is coming from the abdominals. Excellent. Reverse your direction. Inhale, exhale around. Inhale, exhale and around. This range of motion might need to be smaller to be stable, or you might be strong and you might be able to make this range of motion even bigger than what Melissa's showing. Good job. Bend your leg in and extend it out along the floor. Good. We're going to come into rolling back or rolling like a ball. So if you grab behind one leg and use your abdominals to come all the way up to sitting. To get into this start position, we want to find the balance first so that we're sure the abs are working from the very beginning of the exercise. I'm going to have her round to the back of her sitting bones, her sits bones, so she's slightly to the back of them. She's going to pull her abdominals in. She's going to be in a C curve through her spine. She's looking towards her knees. From here, she's going to float one foot off the floor and then use her abdominals to hold that to lift the other leg up. The feet are going to come down a little bit, and hands can come to the shins or towards your ankles. Keep rounding through the spine, so looking towards your knees will help. She's going to inhale to roll back and exhale to come right back up. The second her shoulder blades hit the floor, she's going to use a strong exhale to help her get back up. Nice. The abs at the top are working like brakes to stop the rolling motion from happening so that your feet don't hit the floor. She's coming up just to the back of the sits bones, so you're not popping up on top of them. That would be cheating a little bit. And inhale back, exhale to come up. Deep in the abdominals, feel the ribs coming towards the hips even more, and the rounding through the low back happening even more to go back. And then it has to happen more to stop at the top. One last time, Melissa, great job. And coming all the way back up. Rest here, setting one foot down, and then the other. Good job. Thank you so much for watching.